When you hear the word virus, what comes to mind? Maybe a microscopic enemy causing a pandemic, or a computer virus infecting your laptop. The word feels modern, almost digital. But here's the surprise. It's ancient, more than 2,000 years old. Before humans ever saw a microorganism, before microscopes or vaccines, long before scientists even dreamed of viruses, the word already existed. It meant something completely different, something organic, natural, even poisonous. Today, we're going to travel back through time, through language, discovery, and science, to uncover why we call it virus.
The story begins with the ancient Romans. In Latin, the word virus simply meant poison, sap, or sometimes even slimy liquid. It wasn't something alive, it was a substance. The Romans used it broadly: snake venom, plant extract, or pus from a wound. All of that could be called virus. The root idea was simple: something hidden that could harm. A fluid of sickness. But no one in the ancient world knew why those fluids made people ill. They couldn't see bacteria, much less viruses. So for centuries, virus just meant poison, nothing more. Fast forward to the 17th and 18th centuries. Medicine is changing. Scientists begin to suspect that diseases are not caused by bad air or curses, but by living things, germs. In the 1800s, discoveries by Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch proved that bacteria cause specific diseases. So what about the diseases that didn't seem to involve bacteria? Rabies, smallpox, and polio. They behaved differently. Something smaller was at work. Researchers didn't know what it was yet, but they could feel it. Something invisible, infectious, and powerful. So, they borrowed the old Latin word, virus, poison. It captured the mystery perfectly. The term spoke of something harmful and unseen, spreading through fluids like toxins, yet alive in some strange way. In the 1890s, a Dutch scientist named Martinus Beijerinck performed a series of experiments with tobacco plants. They suffered from a strange disease called tobacco mosaic. Beijerinck filtered the infected sap, removing all known bacteria, but the disease still spread. He realized whatever was causing the infection could slip through filters fine enough to trap bacteria. He called it a contagium vivum fluidum, meaning a contagious living fluid. Yet his written work, Beijerinck referred to it using that old Latin term, virus. He didn't know that viruses weren't fluids, but particles made of genetic material. To him, virus still meant an invisible, poisonous essence. But his experiments started a revolution, a new world of infectious agents too small for any microscope of his time. For decades, the idea of viruses remained theoretical. No one could actually see one. That changed in the 1930s with the invention of the electron microscope. For the first time, scientists saw the outlines of tobacco mosaic virus, and later, influenza and bacteriophages, tiny alien-like shapes that infect bacteria. The invisible poison now had a face. Scientists realized viruses weren't alive in the ordinary sense. They could only reproduce inside a host cell, more like a clever molecular machine than an organism. Still, the name virus stuck. It had already captured the imagination of the scientific world and the public. Poison became a symbol for these strange agents that straddle life and death.
Then, in the late 20th century, the term took on new life in computers. When early programmers began writing self-replicating code, one problem stood out. It spread and corrupted systems, just like biological infections spread among organisms. Naturally, someone nicknamed these rogue programs computer viruses. It was a perfect metaphor. an invisible code that invades, multiplies, and disrupts. The name stuck again, carrying the biological meaning into the digital age. So today, virus describes both a biological phenomenon and a technological one. Two worlds, same word. Both dangerous, both deeply human stories. It's fascinating that the Roman term for poison evolved to define one of the most important ideas in modern science. Even after we learned that viruses aren't fluids or toxins, we never changed the word. Maybe because virus still captures what it always meant. Something unseen, powerful, and just a little mysterious. And as new fields like synthetic biology and digital security emerge, virus continues to evolve, a living word for phenomena that blur the boundary between creation and destruction. Looking ahead, the word virus might once again shift meaning as we learn more about these microscopic agents. Scientists now find viruses that can benefit ecosystems, infecting harmful bacteria or transferring useful genes in evolution. Others are being engineered to deliver vaccines or even fight cancer. The poison of history may become a tool for healing. And maybe, centuries from now, our descendants will look back and smile, realizing that the old Latin word for poison eventually came to represent life's own code reshaped for good. So the next time you hear the word virus, remember, it's not just a scientific term. It's a linguistic fossil, carrying 2,000 years of human curiosity, fear, and discovery. From Roman poison to Bajorink's living fluid, to the invisible molecular invaders, to the digital infections on your screen, the word has survived as enduringly as the thing it names. Because sometimes, history hides in plain sight, even in the words we say every day. If you learned something new today, give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone curious, and subscribe to Simple Things, Surprising Histories for more stories hidden in ordinary words. Thanks for watching.